Hello students, I hope you are all doing good. Now today we're going to solve the Brahmastra test with explanation. Without wasting your time, let's get started. Okay. Now first we will understand the question. Thereafter we will try to understand the solution and its explanation. Okay. Now moving to your first question. As you can see, this first question, what it says: if the energy of a body moving along x-axis at time t, a position is given by this equation a minus x squared upon bt, then the dimension of a into b. It is asking about the dimension of a and b. You just need to give the dimension of a and b. Now, moving to the solution of it, you know that a, which is a quantity, telling left side you have energy basically, and you know that if two quantities are subtracted earlier, the dimension should be same. So the dimension of a, which is x square, which simply equals to l square, means the dimension of length, and when we get the dimension of b, it comes out to be x square upon E into T, as your expression is E equals to A minus X square upon BT. So from here you can say that A minus X square equals to EBT. That means A should be equal to the dimension of X square, that is length square. So the dimension of A is L square. Now we need to find the dimension of B. We can find the dimension of B is equals to 1 A minus X square upon E into T. From here you can easily get the dimension of B, as the upside it's L square and below is the dimension of energy, then dimension of time. From here you can get the dimension of B, which is equals to this value. Now after multiplying the dimension of A and dimension of B, you get the value m minus 1 L square T to the power 1. So your correct option will be option number 1. That is this question answer, means option. Now moving to the next question. Longest wavelength of the Balmer's ring of a hydrogen is this. It is talking about the longest wavelength. Longest wavelength of Lyman's ring. It is asking about the Lyman's ring. Okay, it's a simple theoretical question. You just need to understand it out and just find the longest wavelength of the Lyman's ring. Okay, you can calculate the wavelength by using this formula: 1 upon lambda equals to r 1 by 1 n initial square minus n final square. In the case of Balmer, the final will be like n equals to 2, and the longest, for the longest means wavelength to be longest, energy should be minimum, so must is come from the next shell, so it is 3. After solving you can get this, and it is asking about lambda L. So you just need to calculate for the Lyman. You know that the final will be 1 and initial from the top one, that is 2. And after solving it, you get the value this. Taking the ratio of it, you get this value. And lambda B is equals to, it is given like 36563 angstrom. Putting the value here, you can get lambda L, which comes out to be 1215 angstrom. So your correct option will be option number 1. Now moving to the next question. Okay, let me adjust this like size so that it will be more comfortable to you. Okay, now it is adjusted. Okay, now moving to the next question. This is a quite graphical question. Let's see. A particle of mass this, okay, is subjected to a force F which varies as a distance in the function. It is given in the force was a function of x. Okay, if it starts a journey x equals to 0, that is velocity at x equal to 6. X equal to 6 means this. At this time, it is asking about its velocity. As you can see, from t equals to 0 to t equals to 4, the force of acting on the particle increases linearly. After t equals to 4, up to t equals to 6, it remains constant. So you just need to calculate the value of velocity at this point. Like this point was the velocity of the body. You can simply calculate it by using simple concept. Area of the graph. If you calculate the area of force into displacement, like that the work is given by force into displacement. So area under Fx will give you a work, and work can give you a change in kinetic energy. So you can calculate this area, and this area is equals to change in kinetic energy, which is equals to kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. After calculating it, you know kinetic energy is equal to 0. You need to calculate the final kinetic energy. Simply you need to use half mv square, and you can from here calculate the velocity of value of the velocity. That will comes out to be 20 root 2 meter per second. That means option second will be your correct answer. It's a simple graphical question and a simple work energy theorem question. You can understand it out. Now moving to the next question. Okay, let's see. A ball is thrown upward from the ground. It returns back to the earth in 8 seconds. Okay, its location 5 seconds after the throw. It is asking, so simply again a kinematical question. It is asking about that a ball is thrown upward. Okay, it's thrown upward. It goes up and comes down. At the time of throwing, time equals to 0 second. It is asking at how much distance will travel at t equals to 5 seconds from the start. You just need to use the kinematics. Now moving to the solution. You know the time of ascending. Ascending means going upward is like 8 upon 2, that is 4 seconds. And the next second it falls by a height distance half. You know you can calculate the displacement by half at square, as the initial velocity is 0. So ut, that u will be 0. So the max, you can calculate the maximum height. Now you can calculate, it is asking about the ground, as you can see in the option. So location from ground can be calculated by 80 minus 5, that is 75 meters from the ground, not from the top. That is option second will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, a conservative force acts on a 4 kg. Okay, a conservative force acts in it. The potential energy, this potential energy given by this expression. Now it is asking about that the kinetic energy is 30 joule. Finding maximum. Okay, it is asking about the maximum kinetic energy. You know, for the maximum kinetic energy, your potential should be minimum. So you just need to calculate the minimum potential energy. Okay, for that minimum potential energy, you can apply the total energy subtract minimum potential energy. You can get the maximum kinetic energy. Now moving to the solution, the expression for the potential energy given in this way. You can calculate the value of potential energy at x equal to it. Putting the value of x equal to it, you can calculate that the potential energy comes out to be 44 joule. Now, total energy, potential energy plus kinetic energy at x equal to 8. So the kinetic energy given is 30 and your potential energy comes out to be 44. After adding out, your final energy at 8x equal to 8 meter comes out to be 74 joule. Now you need to calculate the u minimum. Okay, you need to calculate the minimum potential energy. Okay, for the minimum potential energy, for the minimum potential energy, your kinetic energy will be maximum. So you can calculate the maximum kinetic energy from the total energy minus minimum potential energy. If you subtract the minimum potential energy from the total energy, the value get will be a kinetic energy. That will be maximum, as the potential energy will be the minimum. So once you subtract it out, it comes out to be 34 joule. That option second will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, moving for your next question. It's a question of basically rotational mechanics. Okay. Let's see. A ring. It is taking about the ring. You know about the moment of inertia, it's mr square. Radius are acting upon a force. Okay, the force is acting here. In the figure, sufficient friction between the ring and the ground. There is a friction. Okay, for the rolling. Now necessary force for pure rolling. Okay, it is just asking about the necessary condition for pure rolling. So it's a simple question of pure rolling and Newton's laws of motion. Okay, now moving to the solution. Once you calculate that in the horizontal direction of friction is acting on the body in this opposite direction, and once you write the equation of motion for the horizontal forces, it comes out to be F plus M. F equals to MA, and you know acceleration you can calculate in the case of pure loading, that is equals to R alpha. So it will be equal to R alpha. And now the torque equation, torque equals to I alpha. You can calculate the I about the axis. That will come out to be basically okay, wait. Yeah, it's what is the mass of this? It's mr square. Yeah, exactly. You need to calculate it out through this, because it is the force is the torque is acting about this. We are calculating the torque for this force now. So the I should be used about this point, like the IO, that can be calculated by I of center of mass plus M d square. By this means parallel axis theorem, we will calculate the value of I about this point. That will comes out to be 2 mr square and into alpha. And here torque is given by force into perpendicular distance. Simply. By this you can calculate the torque. Now therefore, after equating using this equation, solving it out, we get F equals to 0. Means there is no need of friction. There is no need of friction for the pure rolling in the case of force acting on the top wall. But if the force is somewhere here, the friction is needed. You just need to solve the equation of motion and find the values. Okay. So in this case, the friction is 0. So your correct option will be option number 4. Now moving ahead, let's see. A transverse wave displacement stretch string connected within two digit support. Okay, the equation of displacement of wave is given in this way, and the length of a string is given in this way. Okay, wait, let me adjust for my so that sound quality will be good. Okay, now of this, where x and y are in the meters, is length of the string is this, and the mass is this. The tension in the string. It's simply asking about the tension, and you just need to use the formula of the tension. You know, like in the case of like some wire or some material, the velocity of wave is given by under root of t by mu, which you can calculate by velocity is equals to omega by k. From here you can calculate the t. T will be your tension. Okay, and then U, that is linear mass density, that is mass per unit length. Putting the values, you can easily calculate the tension. That will comes out to be 800 Newton. So correct option will be option number 3. Now moving ahead, is the radius of gyration of a solid disk of mass this and this meter the moment of inertia. Okay, it's a simple formula based question. Your radius of gyration is given. You just need to calculate the moment of inertia. You know that I is equals to mk square, where k is the radius of gyration. You simply just need to use this formula, put the values, you can get the I, that will comes out to be 1.6 into kg meter of kg meter square. That is not here by. It's simply because moment of inertia is mr square now. So mr is equals to kg and radius in meters, plus kg meter square. That will not divide here. Okay. So you simply 1.6 kg meter square. Okay. Now moving ahead. The time period of an Earth satellite is circular orbit independent of time period is mass of satellite, radius of the orbit, both mass and radius, neither mass. No option first will be correct. It is independent of the basically sorry, not a mass, radius. Time period is what? Time period is proportional to basically AQ. That is time period of Earth satellite in circular orbit. In circular orbit, you know that the time period of satellite circular is independent of the mass of satellite, but depends on the radius of orbit. Yeah, it's because okay, I am telling the like wrong answer. You know that a t is proportional to AQ, means depends on the radius of it, means like the orbit in which it is moving. It is independent of the mass. Yeah, it's independent of the mass. It's depend on the mass of the planet. Sorry, mass of the exact planet about which it is moving, revolving. But it is independent of the mass of the satellite. I just confused with the mass of satellite and the mass of the planet. It's independent of the mass of satellite, but depends on the mass of planet about which it is revolving, and it is telling about the mass of satellite. So the correct answer will be option 1. Here the answer is given wrong, like answer first will be the correct answer. Now moving ahead, now moving to your next question. A solid cube of side base is fixed at its base. On the top of the tangential force of 100 Newton is applied on the top, shifted through 2 mm with respect to the bottom. Young's modulus. It's a simply a stress and a strain question. You just need to calculate the Young's modulus, that you can calculate simply the formula of modulus of rigidity. You just need to calculate the modulus of rigidity. So you know the formula. Now moving to the explanation. Modulus of rigidity is given by this value, like eta is equals to force into length upon, like it's simply you can, if you like change it out, it's simply your force like stress into strain, like force by area into L by delta L. This is your modulus of rigidity. Simply put the values, and after putting all the values, you given the force, you given the area, you given the L, you given the change in length, you can calculate the eta. That will comes out to 5 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. That's option first. Option second will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead. Okay. Bernoulli equation for steady non-viscous incompressible fluid express the conservation of angular momentum, density, momentum. Okay, it's basically the energy. Bernoulli equation that tells about the conservation of energy or energy density, you can say. It's a theoretical question. Now moving ahead. Air is filled in a motor tube at 27 degrees Celsius temperature. and 2 atmospheric pressure. If the tube suddenly bursts, the final temperature of the this okay suddenly bursts this adiabatic process. You can apply like your pressure is given, your temperature is given. You just need to use the and the gamma, and this value is also given to you. Diatomic it is saying you can calculate the gamma that will comes out to be just the value given here. And you just need to use the PT relation in the case of adiabatic case. So you just need to calculate the final or final temperature. Your final pressure, I think the atmospheric pressure, that is 180. So you know the final pressure, you just need to use the final temperature. So you can just use the formula. You know the formula like T raised to gamma, P raised to gamma minus 1 equals to constant for an adiabatic case. Just use the formula and you can easily get the solution of it. Okay, so you can know, you use this formula and you can calculate for the initial or final stage. You can calculate the T2, that will comes out to be 246 Kelvin. That's option number third is the correct answer. Now moving ahead, two rods of length L1 L2 are made of material alpha 1 and alpha 2 if the difference of the two lengths is independent of the temperature. Okay, it is saying about the difference is independent of the temperature. Okay, independent of the temperature. Then it is asking a particular relation. So you just need to use the like delta, that will be your L equals to L naught 1 plus alpha delta D. From here you can calculate L by L naught, that is equals to 1 plus alpha delta D. Now it is telling that is independent of the temperature. So this term will be 0. So delta L will be this, and putting equating these equations, delta theta will cut out as it is independent of the temperature, means the temperature remains the same. So L1 by L2 is equals to alpha 1 by alpha 2 is the coefficient of linear expansion. So alpha 1 by alpha 2, option 1 will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, 3 moles. Okay, 3 moles is nitrogen gas is mixed with the 5 moles of an oxygen gas. Ratio of the molar specific heat of a constant pressure and a constant value. It is simply asking about you the gamma. You just given a three, like you just asking about the gamma for the mixture. You just need to calculate the gamma for the mixture. Okay, this is the molar specific heat. Molar specific heat, constant pressure and constant value for the mixture. Okay, it's simply asking you this that will be simply your CP upon CV mix, and this is mix. You can calculate 1 plus 2 by F mix. You just need to calculate the degree of freedom of mix. So simply when you calculate it out, it simply comes out to be, it's as you know, nitrogen and oxygen both are diatomic, and once you calculate the F mix first, that will be simply your N1 F1 plus N2 F2 by N1 plus N2. You know N1 N2, that is 3 5. You know F1 F2, that is degree of freedom. As it is more diatomic, you know, in the case of diatomic and of normal temperature, it is simply 3 to 5 degree of freedom. So F1 F2 will be 5, N1 3, it is 5. You can calculate the F mix, putting the value of F mix here. Once you calculate it out, its gamma mix comes out to be 7 or 5. So option 4 means then fourth will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, if a convex lens of focal length, okay, focal length is given and concave lens of focal length are combined. Okay, you just need to calculate the resolving power. That power P total equals to P1 plus P2. P1 calculated by 1 by F1 or P2 calculated by 1 by F2. Putting the value of F1, F2 with sign. Okay, with sign. So you can get the value of P. That will comes out to be minus 0.75 diopter. So option 4 will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead. A particle of mass 4 kg moves in a simple harmonic such that potential energy varies with the position, the period of oscillation of particle. Okay, it is just asking the period. You know that the value of maximum potential energy like half k x square is equals to u max potential energy. From here you can calculate the mass is given. Okay, you can calculate the k is equals to x is okay. Sorry, x is given. You can calculate the k. Once you calculate the k, you can calculate the time omega. Omega is equals to root under k by m, and omega you know 2 pi by t. So from here you can calculate the time period. It's simple formula based. You just need to you know the 0.2 x value, you know the u max value, that is this value, and from here you can calculate the k, and once you know the k, you know the mass, you can calculate the omega. Once you calculate the omega, you know 2 pi by t is equal to omega, and from here you can calculate the t. That will comes out to be 2 pi under root 2 by 25. That option fourth will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, And inductor, okay, inductor value is given, capacitor value is simply LCR based question. The power loss, simply you just need to calculate the power loss. It's a concept based question. You are given this all the values, simply you just need to put the values. You know power is equals to what? V square by Z, like V square by Z, that is your this value, and multiplying with it R, that is your power value. Power loss it is asking, okay, in the socket. You know you can calculate Z XL minus XC plus R square. Simply by putting all the values you can calculate the Z. This is value of Z, and putting the value of Z here and multiplying with the resistance, you get the power loss or power average, you can say. That will comes out to be 0.79. Option number third is your correct answer. Now moving ahead, what is the length of a resonance tube closed at one end needed to produce a fundamental frequency resonance of 440 Hz in a room at a room temperature? There, assume the speed of the sound. Okay, it is asking about the natural frequency. It's a simple one in natural frequency formula. When one is closed and another is open, it simply frequency is given by L upon like 2L basically. Sorry, F upon 2L. F is the fundamental frequency upon 2L, and therefore you can calculate the length of the tube from here. That will be like L equals to F upon 2V. Putting the values, you can get the L equals to, seeing the explanation, L equals to F by 2V, and putting all the values, you get L equals to 0.64 meter. So option first will be correct answer. Now moving ahead. Okay, it is telling that two positive ions. Okay, it is ion each carrying the charge 2. Okay, are separated by distance this. If F is the force of repulsion between ions, the number of electrons missing from each ion. Okay, you just need to calculate the, you know, that a force and two positive ions carrying this. You don't know, like Q is equals to what? Ne. Okay, Q equals to Ne. You just need to calculate the number of electrons here. So you just need to force is equals to what? KQ1 Q2 upon R square. You know force is, that is F. Okay, Q in the place of Q you can put Ne, and again it is Ne, and thus in the case of R you just need to put the distance will be. From here you can calculate the N, and N comes out to be simply your option number, like once you solve it out, it comes out to be option number first, like not option first. After solving, or let's solve it out, it's simply Q equals to like force is equals to what? K Q square upon D square. After solving out, Q square equals to FD square by K, and Q equals to Ne, simply your N square E square. So putting the value, E square comes out to be your, it's simply your under root of 4 pi epsilon naught into D by E. Under root of 4 pi epsilon naught, okay, D square by E square. This will be your option third will be your correct answer according to the, not first will be not correct because root will not come. It's simply asking you the N. So option third will be the correct answer. So moving ahead. Okay, looking at this, the next question. A short electric dipole of this dipole moment is placed horizontally in the shown in the figure 10 cm at 10 cm from the center of the dipole. The magnet, okay, it's simple formula based question. You just need to know that the electric field at any point R at angle theta, you just need to calculate that value, that is equals to Kp by Rq under root of 1 plus 3 cos square theta. In the case of theta, you just need to put the 30 value. In the case of R, you just need to calculate 10 meter. You know the K, you know the P. You just need to do the calculation. And after calculation in the explanation, you can see it comes out to be 58.5 Newton per coulomb. So the correct option will be, let's check the correct option. That is option number second, 58.5 Newton per coulomb. Okay. Now moving to the next question. A 10 microfarad charge up to this and connected parallel with other capacitor is the common potential. You just need to use the common potential, that is the conservation of the common potential, that is simply C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. If it is connected in parallel and the like poles are same, like one's positive is connected with the other's positive, then the formula will be this for the common, sorry, this will be minus for the common potential, that is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus PC2. Putting the all values after calculation, you get out to be 200 volt will be your common potential. That is option number third is the correct answer. Now moving ahead, in the circuit shown, if the wire is connected between point A and B, the current through wire. Okay, it is asking about the current through this wire. First, you just need to solve it out. Okay, first you need to understand that like this is something like 6 upon 12, that is 1 upon 2, and this is 12 upon 6, that is 2. You just need to calculate, understand the circuit first. You first need to understand the the potential will be same here. Okay, so it will be something like that. It's 0 volt, it's x volt, it's x volt, and it is v volt, this v volt, and there is a resistor, there is a resistor, there is a resistor, there is a resistor. Simply the potential is same here. So you can understand from here like both these are in like series, and both these are in series, and these series, and they then both are in their parallel. Okay, so you just need to 612 series is 18, and this again it's a like 612 18, and after solving it out you can calculate the value of like equivalent, that is upon 2. And once you do that like, oh wait, I think, okay, sorry, this both in parallel, then they both in parallel, then they are in series. Okay, this is the correct one, because 0 volt x volt, 0 volt, or you can say 80 volt x volt, 80 volt x volt, both are parallel. 0 volt x volt, 0 volt x volt, those are parallel, then they are series. Yeah, this is the way. 12 6 parallel, it comes out to be like 12 into 6 by 18. You can calculate it out. After solving it out, you get R equivalent to be 8 ohm. From R equivalent, you can calculate the I, and then you can calculate the I1 and I2. And hence, you know that I1 is moving in that direction, I2 moving in this direction. For the wire, it will be opposite. So I1 minus I2. That will be comes out to be 10 by 3 from A to B, as the value is positive. 10 by 3 from A to B. So option first will be the correct answer. Moving ahead. Wait. Okay. The potential difference between the points P and the Q. Okay, it is asking what the potential difference of this point. Okay, you just need to take it out and like then solve it out. A simple version. You just need to first calculate the R equivalent. Once like this circuit, you can redraw the circuit in this way. Potential will be same as here. And for this case, what you can do, this is point Q, you can say. Okay, and if I change it out, if I remove it out in this way, this is point P. Okay, this is point P, you can say, or like you can calculate in this way. These two parallel, these two in series. So after doing that, you can calculate the R equivalent, and there is also one resistor here. So from here, you can do the R equivalent in series. So R equivalent will comes out to 3. Now you need to calculate the, since no current will flow through the 4 ohm resistor, there will be no current as it is open. That's why no current will flow through this. So your VPQ will be your simply one like the 3 ohm resistor, and no current will flow. 12 volt battery is given. Simply you just need to understand it out. You can calculate the potential. That is potential equals to I into R. Okay. From here you can get, it will comes out to be 3 volt. You can also use the Kirchhoff's law to solve the whole socket. And I just told you the basic method to do it out. And there is no current flowing through the 4 ohm resistor, because it's simply, there is no meaning of this wire here. Okay, because it is not connected from it. Yes, there is simply one resistor here, that is of 2 ohm. Let's take for once. Basically, if we take it in this way, taking it out, it will be connected in this way. Okay, 4 ohm here will be this way. So solving it out, 2 ohm here, sorry, 1 ohm here, 2 ohm here, and then 2 is parallel. Okay, there is no use of this 4 ohm resistor, because The wire is like simply in this way. You can take it in this way. And there is no potential difference or like something like that. It is not connected anyway. So there is no use of this 4M. It simply there will be no 4M. There is 2 ohm and the circuit is redrawn in this way. You just need to calculate the potential of this point. The potential of P simply you can take it as 0, or you can calculate the potential of Q makes this like this point, and after taking you can take the difference and find the value of potential. That will comes out with 3 volt. Yeah, I didn't take the like I didn't look at the terminals, as this terminal is of no use, so no current will pass through it. Okay. A nucleus of mass 240 breaks into a fragment of each mass 120. Okay, binding energy is given. You just need to calculate the total gain of binding energy. You just need to calculate the total positive energy that will be released in the case of this. You just need to calculate the Q value. Q value can be calculated by binding energy of product minus binding energy of like reactant. So binding energy of products you can calculate. You have a product, two product 120 with mass, as in their binding energy like this. So 2 into this value, and the mass is this. So binding energy it is telling, not binding energy per nucleon. It's telling, so you need to multiply with the mass, and thereafter for the binding energy of the reactants it will become out to be this. So Q value will be 260 mega electron volt. That will be option number second. Now simply moving ahead, n type semiconductor. Which of the following is true? Holes are majority no, electrons are majority, and travel and no. Holes are minority, carriers and pentavalent. No, electrons are majority and pentavalent. Option third will be the correct answer. Very best question. No need to too much worry about it. Again, a uniform magnetic field acts at a right angle in the direction of electrons. Okay, like say this is magnetic field and this is the electron movement or magnetic. As a result, the electron moves in circular orbit. Obviously, moves circular. That is radius. Radius is simply your. You can use the radius or formula QVV equals to mv square by r. From here you can calculate the radius. The radius 200. If the speed is double, now just you know the formula. Radius is proportional to the, as you can see there is a function, radius is proportional to the velocity. So if you increase the like this double, radius will be double. That will be 4 centimeter. So option third will be correct answer. Now moving ahead. A paramagnetic substance in the form of a cube, side length this, magnetic dipole this, magnetizing field is this, then the magnetic susceptibility. You just need to understand that the magnetic field is given, magnetic dipole is given. Simply you just need to find the magnetic susceptibility. You know magnetization is the magnetization per unit volume. This is magnetic dipole or this value. Which magnetic dipole moment or magnetic, or you can say polarization or magnetization, is given by magnetic field intensity upon per unit volume. By putting the values from here, you can easily get the value of means like this susceptibility. By here you know that the magnetic dipole is given and the volume is given. Side length is given. A cube, you can calculate the value. Magnetization field is given this way. So you can calculate the value of susceptibility. By putting all the values, you can calculate the I, that will be m upon this. Where m is given, m is like the magnetic dipole moment per unit volume, that is magnetization. Its magnetic dipole per unit volume. Just like in the case of polarization. Polarization is a dipole moment per unit volume. That is polarization. So magnetic like magnetization means like magnetic dipole moment, magnetic dipoles per unit volume. Solving it out, you get I equals to 20 ampere per meter, and you know that I, that is a magnetization, by using this magnetizing field. Simply you know it's mu into H. From here you can calculate the value of S, that is your susceptibility. That comes out to be 3 into 10 to the power minus 4. Third option is the correct answer. Now again the next question will be your theoretical question. In a which of the following has eddy current is not used? Induction furnace, magnetic braking. Here it is used, so it will be not your answer. Here it is used. Electric heater, Inductance for electric heater. Inductance for it is also used, but in the case of electric heater, it is not used. So option 4 will be the correct answer. Now moving ahead, the peak voltage of an AC source is equals to peak voltage simply your V naught by root 2 times. With the option number first V naught by root 2 times RMS value of the AC source. Okay, peak voltage of AC source. Peak voltage simply your peak voltage is root 2 times of RMS, as RMS is equals to V naught by root 2. So root 2 times of RMS, and option 4 will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, the output of OR gate is 1. Okay, OR gate. OR means something plus. So the 1 will be only come if 1 is either one input is 1. Option second will be your simply correct answer. Theoretical question. Now moving ahead, the RMS value of electric field to the light coming from this, the average total energy density. Okay, you just need to average for total. Like this is the RMS value given. Simply just need to average total energy half epsilon naught E square. Okay, this is your energy density. You just need to put the values here. Epsilon you know 2 is given. You just need to understand that is this electric field intensity is given 720 to the square. Just putting all the values, you can solve it out and it comes out to be 4.58 into 10 to the power minus 6. You just need to understand this formula. This is the formula of the average electromagnetic energy in that is both stored in the case of magnetic field and in the electric field. In each it is stored as a 1/4 epsilon naught E naught square. So once you add it out, it comes out to be this value, which is equals to like B square by 2 mu naught. If magnetic field is given, you can use this formula. If electric field is given, you can use this formula. Now moving ahead, going to the next question. Distance of a real object and its image from the focus of a convex mirror is found. So object distance, image distance is given. Focus. It's a simple formula. This question for the lenses. That is, you just need to use the lens formula. That is 1f equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. By solving it out, it comes out to minus 20. Means like this value. Means that it will be behave as a concave mirror. Okay, it is telling us the concave mirror, not sorry, this my mistake. It's concave mirror. So 1 by f equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Simply f is comes out to be negative. That means it's a concave mirror, and it is also given here. Now moving ahead. The cell develops the same power across the 5 ohm and 25 resistor. The internal cell. Okay. Your power is same. You can include the power. You know power for the case of. Okay, there is another question. Sorry, I missed it. It is the angle of polarization of any medium. It is what will be the critical angle. Okay, you have given the polarization angle like that is Wester's angle. Tan theta b is equals to mu. Like from here, theta b is given. You calculate that is root 3, and sine critical angle is equals to 1 by root 3. So your like answers will be sine inverse 1 by root 3. That option number 4 will be the correct answer. Now moving ahead. A cell develops the same power across the two resistors separately. The internal resistance it is asking about. Okay, that means like there is two resistors. One is 5 ohm and the other is 25 ohm. Cell develops if it connected with a cell. If you connect this with a cell, and if you connect this with the cell, okay, we are cell, same cell. Internal cells are power is same. So in the first case P1 power, second case P2. You can calculate the power. Power is equal to V into I. You just need to calculate I. V is given I, that is into V by R, that is R1 plus a small r. Simply this is power. After calculating power, you just need to equate these two powers. And once you equate this power and solve it out, your R is given out to be under root R1. You can also remember this formula. R is given by R1 into R2. By putting the value, you can get the value that is 5 root 5. Means option number third will be the correct answer. It's a simple like mathematical manipulation question and nothing else. Now moving ahead. In an experiment, the photoelectric emission, the wavelength of incident light. Okay, wavelength is given, so you can calculate the mu from here, and the stopping potential means like V naught is given. Work function. You know that E V naught is equals to H mu minus work function. From here, you can calculate the work function, that is E V. Work function is equals to H mu minus E V naught. Sorry. So from here you can calculate the work function, that is h mu minus E V naught. By putting all the values, you can calculate the work function. That will comes out to be simply 3 point here it will be minus. Or sorry, not my like yeah, it will be minus. So by putting all the values, it will be 3.76 electron volt. That option number third is the correct answer. Now moving to the next section. The measure of light intensity we use. For what we use? We simply a photodiode. For in case with reverse bias or what case? Photodiode in reverse bias. Okay, the options will be same, so 1 or 3 you will answer. Now moving ahead. In a full wave rectifier, the output frequency is 50 Hz, then input frequency. Okay, full wave. Full wave means like it simply make it full wave. Fully rectifies out. You know the input frequency is simply half of the output frequency. The frequency that you give, half of it. You can also understand in the case of concept. For full wave rectifier, output frequency equals to input frequency into twice. So your input frequency is output frequency upon 2. That 50 Hz is your correct answer. Now moving ahead. Ionization potential linear Li2 plus. Okay, it is asking about the ionization potential, means the amount of like energy required to get an electron out of cell. Li2 plus. So you just need to calculate the energy. That will be your minus 13.6 Z square by N square. This will be your formula that you can use. And putting all the values here for Li double means like L equals to 3, so Z equals to 3, and putting all the values you get out to minus 1.122. 0.4 electron volt. That option number your third will be your correct answer. It's a formula based question. You just need to, as you can see, all the most of the questions are formula based. You just need to understand to manipulate the formula, use the app, know the application of the formula. Okay, now moving to the like second like next question, your conceptual question. Isothermal reversible process. Okay, in isothermal process, you know delta T equals to 0. So delta T equals to 0, delta Q equals to delta W plus delta U, and if 0, delta Q equals to delta W. W means like as it is reversible process, the work done by the system equals to the heat absorbed by the system. Okay, reversible process, the work done by the system is visible. Enthalpy is 0 for isothermal. Yeah, this is both answer and like adjacent and reason both are correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of adjacent. So option second will be the correct answer. Now moving ahead. Water rises to height h to a capillary tube if the length of the capillary tube above the surface of water is made less than h. Okay, it's simply asking about the capillary tube. It is a conceptual question again or experimental based. Now understand with the solution. Height h is inversely proportional to the radius of the capillary radius. So it is understandable that when height above the surface is decreased, there won't be any motion as the water rises till height h stays put. Means what? Water does not rise at all. Water rise up to the capillary and the start will falling out there. Simply water rise up to the top. It will not rise up. Simply, as you can see, understand, it depends on the radius. And if it is made less than h, simply the water does not fall. It is less than h. Now moving ahead. A circular plate of uniform thickness, this diameter, this circular portion of diameter, okay, the center of, so you know that the center of mass can go to A1 x1 minus A2 x2 by A1 minus A2. Here A1 is like big body area. X1 is the center of mass of big. Simply A2 is the cut it out. You just put the value of A1 x1 A2 x2 A1 A2 and find the value of this. After solving it out, you can calculate and get your value that is comes out to be 9 centimeters. It's like if your origin is this, it will be something like here. So minus 9 centimeters in the case of coordinate, but in magnitude it's 9 centimeters. You can also go through this solution. This is not so like this complex little bit. You just need to use this. You know, A1 is equals to pi R1 square. A2 is equals to pi R2 square. Your x1 is equals to here. You can take it for the whole ring. It will be 0. X2 for this it will be in like this. that will be of distance is like that is 21 minus 28 minus 21, that is 7, and by putting all the values you can get the value of here x center of mass. Or you can use this long method. Okay, a beam of light this uh, from a distant source falls on a sheet of this, okay, resulting diffraction pattern of the width of the center is again a formula based question. You know that the width of central maximum is simply 2 times of lambda d by k. Putting all the values you can get the w, that will comes out to be 2 mm. It's a formula based question. Now moving ahead, a soap bubble having a radius, okay, blown from a digital solution having a surface tension this, the pressure inside the bubble is 0 point, at a 0 point below the free surface of water container this. Find the value z. You just need to understand the concept of excess pressure inside a bubble. So moving to the explanation, you know the excess pressure will be 4T by R. So T is the surface tension, R is the radius latitude of the bubble. And the gauge pressure, that is rho G naught. Putting all the values, you know that there is a means like there is an external pressure which is equals to the internal excess pressure to be like bubbles should not blown up or blow up. So equating those P naught externally, you have an atmosphere plus you have a surface tension excess pressure that will be 40R, and inside there is a gauge pressure and it comes out to be tensile, and from here you can calculate the value of Z naught, or simply you can say that the excess pressure is equals to gauge pressure. This is the concept that you have learned in the case of fluids. So once you like equating the gauge pressure which is equals to the excess pressure, your Z naught comes out to be 1 centimeter. That option third will be your correct answer. Now moving ahead, escape velocity from the surface of planet is this. Okay, you know the escape velocity from under root 2 g m by r. Tunnel dig out the diameter of this world in the body which is the center of planet is a speed. It's asking about the speed when the tunnel it reaches to the center of the tunnel. So you know that it's simply you can apply the energy conservation or nothing else. You know the escape velocity, and if it reaches center, your potential energy will be like net energy will be zero. So you can simply that change in energy is equals to zero. So E final equals to initial. Simply putting the values, because in the first case you don't have any kinetic energy, but in the final case at the center it has a both kinetic energy or like potential. Sorry, at the center its kinetic energy is simply your comes out to be zero, and potential energy at v mm by r. But initially it has a both velocity and like potential energy at the surface of it. So putting the value of energy conservation, you get the value of v, that comes out to be under root of 2 gm bar, which is the orbital velocity. It's simply the root 2 times, or you can say escape velocity of root 2 times value. It's like orbital, you know, the orbital velocity is escape velocity upon root 2 times, or you can say escape velocity is equals to root 2 times of orbital velocity, that is vm by r. We simply you can say 2 times vm by r. So your like escape velocity is root 2 times of orbital velocity. So option orbital velocity will be escape velocity by root 2. That is option number second is the correct answer. Now moving to the next question. In the circuit below, if the dielectric is inserted, okay, dielectric is inserted, the charge on C2. Okay, it is asking about the charge on C2. It will decrease or increase. Okay, you need to understand it's a simply conceptual this question. Now reading the explanation. Initially, wire between both capacitor and neutral source is connected. Positive charge moves toward B. Okay, and negative charge moves towards A. Yeah. When the dielectric is placed between the capacitor, the charge increases, due to which the wire ends B has a more positive flow towards the B, and the charge on the capacitor will also increase. So you can understand it by this way, like as if both are in like series, so they have like if both are C1 C2, if they are in series, so they will behave like a C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, and a potential of V across both. If dielectric is inserted in first case, if the dielectric is inserted, sorry, if a dielectric is inserted in the like first scenario, it is asking about the charge in the second. First, you can calculate the initial charge. Thereafter, finally, you calculate the final charge. By the charge conservation, you know, final charge equals to initial charge. So, initial charge Q equal to CV. Your C equivalent you know, and your V know. The initial charge you know, and thereafter, after including the dielectric, your C equivalent will increase out. So your potential will be same. So your Q final will be also increased. That option first will be the correct answer. Or you can understand by this explanation also. I have given you a different explanation for that. Now moving ahead, a body is projected at angle sigma with a horizontal spacing. The speed of the body when it becomes the perpendicular to the final velocity. Okay, you just need to understand it is perpendicular to the final velocity. Means perpendicular to the final velocity. When the speed of the body, when body becomes perpendicular to the final, it will be not final, it's initial. The wrong question is wrong. Its initial velocity simply. So you just need to understand that your initial velocity is a u this and your speed it is needed to find. So when the velocity is perpendicular to the initial velocity, so v cos theta equals to u cos theta, u cos 60 because it is projected at an angle of 60 degrees. Okay, and with a velocity of with horizontal speed, sorry, with a speed 40, it's 40, yeah. So your horizontal speed will be this. The speed of the body when the it's become perpendicular to initial. Okay, perpendicular to initial, it falls in this way. So simply this way. It is perpendicular to initial velocity. Okay, your initial velocity in the this direction, and when it comes out to be this, your final velocity, your once you like displace this vector in this way, so your initial velocity in this way, final velocity in this way, that both are perpendicular, and you know that this is your initial velocity, this is your theta. So by this, you know that the horizontal angle will remain, but the horizontal velocity will remain same. Let's say it's v, it's u cos theta. So your v to the cos some theta 1 will be equals to u to the cos theta. By this you calculate the v, and once you calculate it out, it will comes out to 40 root 3 meter per second. That is option number 2. Now moving ahead, a charged particle drift velocity is electric field is mobility. You know the mobility is simply your drift velocity of an electric field. Just divide it out and get the answer. And once you calculate it out, your answer comes out to be 2.5 into 10 to the power 6. Now moving to the next question. Resistance is given, inductance is given, frequency is given, source voltage is given, frequency is given, a coil, the current through the coil. It's simply you just need a current equals to potential, but like potential final, but the peak value upon the total resistance. So you just need to calculate the XL, that is omega L, and thus at this frequency XL will be this. So you can calculate the Z through it, and IRMS is equals to VRMS upon Z. Putting the value of Z here, you can calculate the IRMS value, that is 4 ampere will be your correct answer. Dimension of torque. Torque is equals to force into distance. Force into distance. Okay, force is equals to mn t minus 2 and distance mn square t minus 2. That will be option number 3 will be your correct answer. Moving ahead. The last question. The photoelectric experiment was performed at 2 intensity. Okay. Frequency same. Stopping potential will be same. So your correct correct explanation for this will be this, because as the intensity increases, the stopping potential will not increase, because the stopping potential depends on the frequency of the incident wave. So the stopping potential is same. This will be not correct, this can't be correct, this is not zero. Stopping potential can't be 0 for if you have a given intensity. Stopping potential can't start from 0, it has to be negative. So option correct, second will be correct answer. I hope you understood the explanation. As you can see, you must need to focus on the value or the explanation or the application of the formula, and you can easily solve the tip. Or if you have a good conceptual knowledge, you can also understand the theoretical or conceptual question. Thank you very much.